Welcome to the Potatoes New Zealand wrap-up for 2025. This will be presented by Kate Trufitt, the Chief Executive of Potatoes New Zealand.
Great to see everybody. This is really an opportunity for us to report back to our members and stakeholders on activities over 2025. So that's a wrap for 2025. Our agenda today is we're going to go through our strategy, our current strategy, and just what those key achievements have been over 2025. We'll do a bit of looking forward as well to 26, 27, and I'll have a little chat about the strategic refresh that we're looking to undertake as well. So I'd like to recognise that it's been really tough out there for growers. While there's some sectors that are doing very, very well, the vegetable sectors are really struggling at the moment, and we know that those returns to growers aren't as they should be. We've also lost some growers on the way. Some growers have packed it in because they've had to, which is very hard on them and their families. So we'd like to acknowledge that these have been more difficult times. Our current strategy is our strategy to 2028. I'm going to work through the pillars today, and then I'll talk a little bit about the refresh that we're undertaking. But this will give you an opportunity to have a look to see where the activities are, what we're undertaking, and the activities or the key activities. Leadership in the field is one of our key activities, and this is where our R&D projects sit. Paula has given me a great report on our R&D projects and some updates, so I'm going to run through those since that's a significant portion of our levy spend. So we have our Liberia Bacter activities concentrated in Canterbury, but some activities in Pukekohe. There was a calcium propionate project, and the outcome of this was that it does not significantly impact our TPP's initial feeding, and it cannot stop Liberia Bacter, but it does impact on the feeding duration, so could affect transmission of Liberia. So there's further research that's required on that, but it was great to get a bit of an outcome on that. There's been some activity around box thorn removal, which we believe is a TPP host. So that's been quite a large project and great, again, to get that removed. There has been some winter sweep netting and TPP gut content analysis to see what TPP feed on over winter. Unfortunately, there were many TPP together during the season, so we've really struggled with that. Again, we're going to review and just see where we can end up with that project. The Powdery Scab project diffuse to confuse trial, the outcome of that is that gluconate performs similarly to fluazim, but at a lower cost. The interaction between them has given great outcomes as well. So there's a new trial underway trying different rates, and that's been conducted in Pukekohe. We've had some potato tuber moth programs using pheromone traps, and you'll see there that we've got the smart traps for potato tuber moth. Again, that's a great initiative at the demonstration farm in Pukekohe. We also worked with one of our chemical suppliers on some data package that's required to process that to be allowable for use in New Zealand. So again, really great activities in conjunction with some of our partners. There's been an Alternaria program, Early Blight. So there was a technical bulletin that's come out that really just informed growers and potato industry on some trials and how to really work across that effective resistant management strategy. You'll note also that we are doing some BioScout work for Alternaria spores as well in the 2025-26 period. Our Sustainable Vegetable Systems project has really sort of come to an end. However, we are working with further stakeholders on what commercialisation activities could look like. And part of the assessment of that was we really need to get SVS out into growers and agronomists' hands and being used. So we're really doing a strong engagement and extension plan for that. I've mentioned Vice a couple of times, or our demonstration farm. So there are currently some great activities, or have been some great activities on SVS and the nitrogen modelling, and that's been repeated this year. There was also a zebra chip seminar that was completed by Plant and Food, who are now BSI. So that's some of the fantastic activities that Paula and the team are doing under R&D. We also, for this year, had similar activities, integrity trials with potato tuber moth, and also some field evaluations for Alternaria as well. So there's still a lot of activity in that area. You'll see also under biosecurity readiness and response, we have got some new guidance being developed, and this will be useful for growers in a response. We also have developed an export management system. This is in draft and waiting for some feedback from industry, getting it out into the exporters and growers' hands to see what feedback and how we can use that going forward. We have been working across our vegetable sector, collaborating on joint R&D projects. This has mostly been around the demonstration farm, but is looking to work maybe wider than that. Some of you may know that Hort NZ have developed 2025 codes of practice. This is on the Hort NZ website if you're interested. And it's great to see SVS tool being mentioned as a nitrogen budgeting tool. So, really trying to get that again into those hands of the agronomists and growers as a key tool to helping them manage their budgeting. I wanted just to touch on the BSI changes, and so that Plant and Food have now gone to the BSI group, and that there's some changes happening in that space, and there's lots of activity. And I sort of talked to Mark Piper the other night, and they are sort of really starting to establish a great management team and working units. So great to see some of that activity in that science and R&D area. Moving on to Grow Great People. This is a really key initiative for us. We were very quiet on Grow Great People, and it's really great to see some activity in this space. Our Youth Council has been formed for a little while now and now has 8 members. They are working on some career pathway documents that we can show when we're doing career days or really talking to the high schools and young people in our industry to garner interest in horticulture as a whole, but also talking about the potato industry. We also have the Young Grower, but it has been launched again in Canterbury this year, and we were highly active in that. Again, it was great to see the Youth Council vying for the title. So we had Harry and Steve Brink, who has now joined the Youth Council, and Steve came first in the regional and the Canterbury and second in the national competition. So fantastic to see our potato people out there. The Canterbury Hort Association recently had a young grower evening just to try and attract young growers and talk about the competition. So I'd highly recommend, if you've got some young growers in your organisation, if you want to know more, please feel free to contact Cherie. We've also had bursaries and scholarships awarded. The Business School Scholarship was awarded to Blair Wilcox, and our bursary has been awarded to Canterbury University student. We have the School Leaving magazine, which we've done for the 2nd year running. And we have Bridget from the Seed Co-op featured in that. And again, it's just a really great way to showcase the fact that there's amazing career opportunities within the horticulture industry and really showcasing potatoes. We've done some career days, and we will continue to do these and support these. We did one at Lincoln University. You'll see the photo there with Paula. It was like speed dating on steroids when you've got 350 students coming at you at a rate of knots. But it was a fabulous opportunity to talk about horticulture and the career paths that we have, not just for people who want to drive tractors, but for all those IT people, scientists, and other fantastic opportunities that we have. We have also shared training opportunities when they've come up. There are lots and lots of generally focused opportunities for our industry, and we try and share those across our website and newsletter. United Voice. It's really key that we have a united voice across industry, and this is becoming clearer as we talk to MPI and our other government agencies. We are involved in a lot of government meetings, whether it be GIA, MPI, PMAC, and across Biosecurity New Zealand, Export. And we also have a lot of opportunities to engage with Minister Gregg and Minister Hogarth particularly, but we've also recently, as an industry, had a meeting with Todd McClay. So, there's a lot of work going in behind the scenes on your behalf to really get the government to understand vegetables and their needs. On farm, we have been dealing with MPI on farm team as well. Vanessa Winning is part of the MPI senior management team that we've been engaging with, and I've also been engaging with Caroline down here in Canterbury as well. We have strategic communications. Sheree works really hard to tell our story and get general promotions out there, telling of the goodness of potatoes to consumers, but also that wider story about our industry. And, we try and take those opportunities wherever we can. We completed some consumer research earlier this year and then had stakeholder and member workshops, which gave us great information on how to move forward with our industry. What are those big audacious goals that we have, and how do we further get our consumers, one, to their uptake of potatoes, but also how do we grow our slice of the pie? And so that's given us some great information to go forward and do our business plans on. We've done quite a lot in the promotion of potatoes. A lot of that was based around the release of the consumer information, including I featured on 7 Sharp. We've had lots and lots of radio interviews and some podcasts. We've shared stories from growers about how potatoes power performance. Brian Hart, fantastic promotion there on Brian. We've also sponsored a grower-led cycling team who were going to cycle in the Southland event, but unfortunately that was postponed due to the weather event, and we really hope that they can get that up and running again because that's such a great promotion for potatoes. We highlight at every opportunity how nutritious, delicious and versatile vegetable potatoes are as a whole food, and really discounting the poor carb story that's out there. We've done a lot of webinars this year. Some of them have featured people like FarmStrong, fabulous opportunity to talk FarmStrong. We've done Safer Farms, and we've done lots of other interesting subjects. So really, if you've missed those, they're on our website. Highly recommend that you have a look. Working together. This is another key pillar of ours. It starts with our members, our trade members and associate members. So we thank you for being members and engaging with Potatoes New Zealand. There's been a lot of collaboration across the vegetable sector. Obviously, there's been the vegetable industry collaboration, and there's lots of discussion, and that's still ongoing. But there's also other collaboration that we do across R&D, the demonstration farm, which I've talked about, and that's actually led to us looking at an overarching strategy of what would that look like and how can we work better together. We've also been talking to FAR. So they've had a change of CE, and we've got Scott Champion that's joined, and Scott's a big supporter of potatoes. So we're looking at those opportunities and how we can collaborate across that arable growing system, which lots of our growers are part of. So great ongoing conversations about how to collaborate and work across those industries. We've also had a lot in the international partner space. We had Andy Robinson, who's the top photo, come out from the US, and he had quite a team with him. We've had Paul Horn here, bottom photo, who's an IPM expert from Australia, and Paul's actually been out here quite recently on another project that we're doing across IPM. We've also had a Netherlands tour, which Paula completed. She went to Potato Europe and the Potato Business School, a great opportunity for Paula to upskill and bring back that knowledge and those key relationships as we go forward. We've just called for expressions of interest for our 2026 Potato Europe trip. please register if you are interested. I'm busy trying to get an itinerary together and should be able to put something out in January about that. Some of our other international linkages are PetaFest. So PetaFest is a European research project dedicated to protecting potatoes from pest and post-harvest diseases. They're particularly doing quite a lot in the Liberia space. There's Texas A&M AgriLife Research. They have an ongoing exchange of information on Liberia Bacter management. So a fantastic opportunity there for us to learn from an international connector. We also have a wider vegetable promotion that has been through Parliament. We have our parliamentary showcase and also our vegetable day out. Now they have become so popular that we're doing them again in 2026. So the vegetable day out is in March. So I would encourage you to get your tickets. They are limited, but it was a fantastic showcase of what vegetables can do. And the parliamentary showcase is a great way for us again to connect with Parliament. I just wanted to talk quickly about the team. So we had Ian retire this year. That's a loss of 40 years of experience. Not that Ian's gone very far, he's still around and is keen to support us if he can. But Paula, it's meant opportunities for the team. And so Paula's moved from being seed into R&D assistant, being now the R&D project manager, and she's doing a fantastic job coordinating all our R&D efforts. Tristan has taken up biosecurity responsibilities and also looks after the health and safety of our team. Cyril is really concentrating on that seed management, and we continue to try and improve the seed certification program and make sure that the quality of the seed is as it should be. We congratulate Paula for reaching and obtaining the Go Hort Emerging Leaders Training Program, a great acknowledgement of that skill that she's developed. I can't go past 2025 reflection without reflecting on our conference. It was a fantastic conference and really ended with such a buzz of a night at our conference dinner. Jihan, our MC, did a fantastic job of doing interactive panels, which led to lively discussions and really great audience participation. So that was fantastic. We had really great speakers that went all the way from looking at our consumer insights through to Michelle Dickinson, who really wowed us with AI and what that's going to look like going forward. Our theme was innovating for the future. So it really was that opportunity to talk about how we can improve the industry and what that looks like. And I, again, think we need to be big and bold and really start looking at how we can move forward. We really thank our exhibitors and sponsors. Again, without you, we cannot have these kind of opportunities. We are looking at doing an interim summit in 2026 to really just make sure that we keep that momentum and those conversations going. We had a fantastic evening with our industry awards, and again, congratulations to all of those and those fantastic achievements. So moving to our future focus. As we move into 2026, there's some activities that we undertake. So not only do we have our BAU and some of the things I've spoken about, we've developed up a stakeholder plan. As we know, our industry is wider than our members, and we have a lot of stakeholders that are very key and they work across industry. So we've done a bit of mapping and have an engagement plan so that we can really try and develop those relationships and synergies across whole of industry. I've spoken a bit about collaboration today, and that collaboration across whole of industry is becoming really, really key. MPI are really driving this message. We've had some vegetable group meetings with them, and they really want to engage and enable change for vegetables, recognising that, as an industry, we may be struggling to, be prosperous and get that returns back to growers. So, how can we drive change? What does that look like? Recognising that they have an export focus. So we need to think about, is there opportunities for export for us? But how do we then lift domestic supply as well? We recognise that we have the Aotearoa Horticultural Action Plan with a goal of doubling farm gate value of hort productions from 6 billion to 12. And we're very much a part of that and map a lot of our activities across to the action plan. We are also been welcomed in by PMAC to be part of a Tier 2 organisation export plan, sorry. So what we're doing is really mapping across to go, what activities do we do, where do we struggle, and how can Tier 2 groups this is export Tier 2, how can we work together to actually enable export better? And what can then government do to help us? Because PMAC has got a lot of government agencies sitting on it as well. So it's a fantastic initiative. I'm going to talk about our strategic refresh a little bit. So the board had a strategic refresh activity, our last board meeting, and the review really showed that we're mostly on the right path. There's no major changes needed, and that our 4 pillars really are still true to what we're doing at the moment. But we did pop up a couple of things, and it's really more around the strategy maybe needs to be more purposeful in its wording. So some of the areas that popped up were that value creation and grow economics aren't really prominent enough. We need something around demand creation and category growth. So it feels a bit underdone, but we also need to recognise that this is actually a commercial area, maybe not so much Potatoes New Zealand, but how can we support and enable that activity? We also felt that the purpose statement maybe feels a little too soft, and how can we sharpen that? The structure of our strategy versus our business plan and how this can be communicated to our members was discussed as well. And I think we've got some great ideas about how we can do that. So as I said, this is our current strategy. And what we're going to do is really look at those priorities and try and work out what that sort of means and looks like going forward. We are also going to move the 2028 and move to a dynamic strategy. And this will keep pace with the fast moving world that we have, that's impacting on us all, because we work in a global activity in economics at the moment, and it does impact on what we do. Once the refresh draft is available, myself and other members of my team will be coming out to chat with members about the changes and does it resonate. Like I did with the first strategy, this is the industry strategy, it's not particularly Potatoes New Zealand, so we do need members to really endorse this. Thank you for attending, and I really appreciate the time out of your day. It was really an opportunity for us to showcase what we're doing. It's been a busy year, I must say, lots and lots of activity, and I really feel now that the team's getting some stuff underway, the rubber's hitting the road, and we've got some great initiatives for 2026. So look forward to seeing everybody in 2026. Thank you.